One of the criminals who were hanged there kept deriding Jesus and saying, "Are you not the Messiah? Save yourself and us." But the other rebuked him, saying, "Do you not fear God, since you're under the same sentence of condemnation? And we indeed have been condemned justly, for we are getting what we deserve for our deeds. But this man has done nothing wrong." Then he said, "Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom." Jesus replied, "Truly, I tell you, today you will be with me in paradise." Truly, I say to you, today you will be with me in paradise. One bitterly cold morning in February 1846, the French writer Victor Hugo, on his way to work, saw a mud-spattered, barefooted young man being led away by police. Under his arm was a loaf of bread he'd stolen. In Hugo's eyes, the man became the spectre of poverty. As a result, Hugo wrote his novel Les Miserables, The Poor, which ultimately became a musical that opened at the Barbican Theatre in October 1985, and has since become one of the most watched pieces of theatre of all time. Basically, if you don't know the story, Jean Valjean is imprisoned for stealing a loaf of bread. He escapes and is given shelter, and then some candlesticks by a priest. As a result, Valjean becomes wealthy and ultimately dies loved by an adopted daughter and her husband. Wretchedness transformed by the love of a priest. Between last Good Friday and this Good Friday, many people have tragically died. But two died in unique, newsworthy circumstances. On the 25th of May last year, George Floyd went to his local grocery store to buy cigarettes. He used a $20 bill that the teenage employee of the store thought was suspicious. The police were called. When they arrived, Floyd was sitting peacefully in a car with two others. Officers pulled a gun on him and ordered him out of the car. They tried to force him into a police car, at which point Floyd's body tensed and he said that he was claustrophobic. He fell to the ground and Officer Chauvin put his knee on Floyd's neck for 9 minutes. Floyd died. Earlier this month, sometime between the 3rd and the 9th of March, Sarah Everard was, it's believed, killed by a British police officer. The following weekend, women gathered peaceably in a vigil to remember Everard. Patsy Stevenson was thrown to the ground and handcuffed. There are, of course, discussions to be had. But in each case, the effect was the suppression of those without power by those who had it. It was a tactic perfected by Rome. People were crucified both for stealing bread and for passive resistance. Being a criminal simply meant not doing as you were told. Being a criminal meant, in the language of Victor Hugo, being one of Les Miserables, one of the poor, the oppressed underdogs. And this is what I notice from Luke's account of the crucifixion. Jesus looks down on the crowd and asks forgiveness. He looks up to God and places his life in God's hands. But he looks across at criminals. Eye to eye, equal, and he promises one of them paradise. In this moment, perhaps Jesus answers Pilate's question to the authorities. What has he done wrong? The leaders of the people offer a series of trumped-up charges before resorting to a baying mob in order to have their way. But here, on the cross, as Jesus looks at this man condemned alongside him, he encapsulates the authorities' complaint. Jesus looks at the most wretched of men on equal terms and promises him that this is not the end. Let's pray. Here in the dark, do not speak. Only listen. Hold your peace and wait for the wordless gift. The lifting of the lark's voice, choice and sweet, repeating its high note of love, speaking your name, calling you over and over again. Do not speak. Let the visiting bird, silence, do her work. Sift your heart. Heal what is broken, sundered apart. Restore what is plundered. Repair the rift. Knit to one piece the unravelled mind, scattered and split. Wait for the gift, the lifting of the warm beating wings, the sudden shelter under the brooding breast. You must enter here in the dark, where the heart sings. Do not speak.